Hello. So, I am going to talk about my new favorite weapon or tool, or whatever you want to call it. It is the Cold Steel Walkabout. My wife and kids gave it to me as a birthday present. I am a disabled veteran. I do have some trouble walking. So I do tend to walk around with a cane. I don't always have to lean on a cane, but sometimes my arthritis kicks in. And more importantly, I like carrying a stick around. Reason being, you can't always, carry things such as a knife. I generally carry a knife with me just about everywhere, but there are places where it is frowned upon. For instance, if you're going in any kind of government facility, police station, schools, banks, they don't want you carrying this around. Pretty much anywhere where they have any kind of metal detector, things of that nature. Of course, I carry a knife around for, number one, as a tool. Knife is a wonderful tool to have around. I will sometimes carry a firearm around if I'm going into an area where I think that such a thing might be needed. Luckily, I've never needed it as of late. But the great thing about the walking stick is that it is, first of all, it's useful. It's a medical device. It's good to have to stand on. I'm leaning on it right now. You can't really see because of the camera angle. But it is a very handy thing to have if you need it. And the reason I say this is in a self-defense situation, next to a firearm, I think that this is probably one of the best things that you can carry. Number one, you can carry it anywhere. You can carry a cane through an airport. You can carry it into the White House. And now they might check it and make sure it doesn't have a sword in it. This does not have a sword. It is just polypropylene. They used to make them out of hardwood, but now they make it out of molded plastic that is very, very strong. It's one of a couple of different cold steel canes that I have. I have some other canes that have been passed down to the family. But this is the one I've been carrying as of late. As you can see, it's pretty much like a baseball bat. And if you get hit with this, it's going to be like getting hit with a baseball bat. Now, I've been studying Filipino stick fighting and various other weapon arts, krabi krabong, whatnot, for a number of years now. And I am pretty good with a stick or, a knife. I can use a stick and a knife simultaneously. Would that ever happen in real life? Probably not. And the reason that I'm making this video is to say that there are a lot of videos about Filipino stick and knife fighting. And I carry a stick and a knife generally everywhere I go. Mainly for its utility purposes. But both of them make very good self-defense tools. Do I think that I would ever use them in the way that they do, like Isbadi Daga? Probably not. And the reason I say this is I have been in a couple of fights. Luckily, not lately. And I've been in a few serious fights involving weapons, sticks, knives, things like that. And the thing I can tell you in watching real fights on like YouTube, not TV fights or sparring. Fights are generally pretty quick. The majority of them that are life or death situations. I'm not talking about like barroom brawls. I'm talking about being accosted by somebody on the street. Reason being is a lot of people, they don't want to get hurt. So if you are coming in with a stick that, granted, it's not as heavy as a baseball bat. Your average baseball bat's about 36 ounces. This is 26 ounces. But it's the same length as a baseball bat. It's still got the weighted end. And while I've never been hit with this, I have done some training. And I imagine it would be very similar to being hit with a baseball bat. Now, in the Cold Steel video Stun, Stagger, and Stop, which is about using walking sticks, I would say that most of their stuff is very practical. Certainly more practical than some of the Kali or Filipino martial arts videos that you see on YouTube and whatnot. They have Ron Balicki, who is Dan Inosanto's son-in-law, come in and help train. And I would say for the most part, their techniques are pretty useful in real life. Now they have, I'll give you for instance, they have what's called the number one strike, which is the strike that most people who are right-handed are probably going to use, is starting at the top right corner and coming down like this. Then you have the number two strike, and of course, 3, 4, millions of different numbering systems, and you have thrust. Is that going to happen? I would say definitely, probably the number one strike. If I had to guess, say I'm just walking, I would say I would probably either pop it up like this and use it this way, or if I had time to pop it up, I imagine I would probably put my other hand here and just wail like that, And a couple of those is probably all it's going to take to send someone running, hopefully. And if that doesn't work, you have the number one strike, and then I'm probably not going to try to do a number two strike. Again, in the heat of the moment, probably going to do a number one strike, and then maybe come over and hit them on the head, and then I might cut. It's all going to happen very, very quickly. Hopefully, they won't have a firearm. Hopefully, my training will help if it ever happens. I'm just thinking realistically, would some of the things that I see in those training videos actually happen? Most of them seem very unrealistic. Just watching videos of actual fights, of people assaulting cops, things like that. I would say that you're going to do whatever you can. You're going to, just wail on them, as fast as you can. Would I ever swing and then think to draw a knife? Probably not. Now, if they got me on the ground and I just realized, hey, I have a knife, I might come in like that. Hopefully, it doesn't come down to it, because I imagine the law would probably not look as favorably on using a bladed weapon on someone as opposed to a stick, which, oh, by the way, you're carrying anyway. And, the fact that it is documented that I am I do have a disability. The VA has tons of paperwork It shows, yes, I am legitimately disabled. I've never had anyone question me carrying any kind of walking stick. Now, I've carried several different types. Most I've ever had any authority figure ask is, hey, is there a sword in it? No, here, take a look, and they do the whole, okay, it doesn't look, I don't see a gun, okay, sure, have a good day. Yeah, you too, no problem. So, that's why I like this tool, because it's, like I said, you can carry it anywhere. It's very useful, and in the event that I am attacked, this will probably save my life. Hopefully, again, hopefully they don't have